Hello again everyone, welcome back to another video on this wonderful platform we call the internet. And well, this time we're in for a bit of a different one this time. Yes, we have ourselves a good old Harman Smith video, but unfortunately though this time not exactly in the usual way. I'm just not really feeling the energy this time to have to do all that chopping and editing and stop start sort of stuff. So this is like 3 or 4 prior videos I made from his that I would be impressed, but just don't want to have to do all the, I just mentioned it up until one of his latest ones, as you will see all these here. So yeah, but I assure you though, the next Harman Smith video will be back to the good old fashioned. So this time I figured I'd just do a short response thing without the whole video back and forth thing, because I just not really feel liking it at the moment. But yeah, anyway though, yeah, as you can see per the title, our good buddy Harman Smith claims that the Nintendo GameCube is more popular and better than the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox One. Well, the Xbox original, I mean. So, funny enough, actually, me and a friend were talking on the phone about 2 or 3 days ago, and this thing about in the discussion about the GameCube and PS2 and all that actually did come into the mix. So, if I'm not mistaken, it was actually the GameCube that didn't sell particularly well. Not because it was actually a shit console or anything, but it just came out at the wrong time, really. Because Xbox made its debut, PlayStation was releasing their second console after the first one was an absolute success, and the GameCube came out around the same time as well, if I'm not mistaken, and it had all that to compete with. So yeah, while it was a good console, I'm not saying that from experience because I haven't actually had one, but just from what I've heard, it was a good console, but it just came out at the wrong time, because at this time PlayStation and Xbox just came out. They, of course, at that time were then pretty popular, so most people had their attention turned to those. And yeah, so that's not exactly very true. Good old Harman, or whatever your name was your channel name is Harman Smith, and everyone else, including myself, refer to you as Harman Smith, yet at the start of each of your videos you say something about Cody Lee. Anywho though, yeah, it's not exactly particularly true, and once again, good console, no doubt, but it just came out at the wrong time. It should have come out before or after, when, the hype for the other two would have died down and all that. So yeah. And as for my next thing I want to discuss, he claims that the Dead Space remake flopped so bad that they've cancelled remakes and sequels. Now, I've seen no such article saying that, and if anything, once again, when the Dead Space remake came out, it was actually a major success. Cry about your anti-woke freak shows. Anyway though, that's a bit off topic, but yeah, it sold pretty well, and yeah, it was considered one of the best games of last year, alongside Baldur's Gate 3, Resident Evil 4 remake, and so on and so forth. Now, unfortunately this year, with Battlefield 2042, with its support and all that coming to an end, and now they're working on the next game, they've technically, and same thing with Need for Speed Unbound, is like Season 8, Volume 8, whatever you want to call it, just came out like, not yesterday, but the day before, and then there's one more season of post-launch content after that. So with those 2 games now, with support coming to an end, well, EA has now gotten Criterion, who's currently working on Unbound, and Motive, I think it is, who are currently working on, were who made the Dead Space remake, he got them on board now to help DICE make the next Battlefield game. So technically, no, it didn't flop so bad because they've just pulled the teams from their respective games over to help DICE. So for now, the Dead Space 2 remake is shelved. So that doesn't exactly mean it's cancelled. It might be, it might not be. I hope it's the latter. It just means that they've stopped work on that and put it aside for now to help work on the next Battlefield game, and then probably when that's done, then they'll hopefully resume work on the Dead Space 2 remake, and hopefully it won't share the same fate as Titanfall 3. Rest in peace. So yeah, there's, well, at least the way I see it, there's a difference between being shelved and cancelled. Cancelled, well, never seen it, it's never going to see the light of day, such as Titanfall 3. What a damn shame. As for shelved, well, it just means that production or whatever it is has been halted and it's just been put aside because it's now not a top priority. So there's a big difference between the two. At least that's the way I see it, and hopefully that is the case, because if the remake of the first game was so good, well, I can just imagine how absolutely lit Dead Space 2 remake would be, because the second game from 2010 was fucking amazing, and I just cannot imagine what they'd do with it, how they'll give it the same treatment as the first game. It would just be absolutely mwah. Yeah, it'd be absolutely fucking fire if you ask me, as long as it does get continued once this next Battlefield game is done for. So yeah, and now he is back at it once again, bashing on Elden Ring. Tell me that Elden Ring lives rent-free in his head without telling me it lives rent-free in his head. I don't entirely know exactly, but he's made lots of videos trashing on Elden Ring, and my guess is all because it's not on his precious little Nintendo. Oh, you poor thing. And that's most of the case with his shit talk with Baldur's Gate 3, Black Myth Wukong, Resident Evil 4 remake, and Dead Space remake. That's all it is because they aren't on his platform, let alone exclusive to his platform. So yeah, you hate to see it. And not only that, but the game is came out several years ago. Just get over it now. It's a good game. Deal with it. Cry about it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But don't go trying to sell this shit, because you're just gonna be laughed at like you have been for the past 2 years. So yeah. And then with this row of 4 videos, as you can see here, well, in the next week or so we'll be having a look at the one on the very far right. So that will be fun. So stay tuned for that. It won't be my next video, but it will be coming up, I guess you could say. So yeah. Anyway though, thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want to. Just stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.